What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with reactions to the classics, and today I got another Belle and Sebastian reaction. This time to the non-album tracks top 10, brought to us by friend, longtime supporter, and patron of the channel, Ian. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons and everything that they bring. This channel wouldn't exist without them. If you'd like sports in any way, check out the Patreon link below or the Patreon link on the end screen. If you know anything about Belle and Sebastian, we got some other videos up of them, but Belle and Sebastian are a Scottish indie pop band formed in Glasgow in 1996, led by Stuart Murdoch. The name Belle and Sebastian, if you're wondering, there's not a Belle and Sebastian, right? But a lot of people think that, which I get. It comes from Belle et Sebastian, a 1965 children's book by French writer Cécile Aubry, later adapted for television. I'm sure I butchered all of that, but you get the idea. Ian says, my favorite band that is still going. 12 studio albums with great songs. There are tons of great songs on the singles and EPs that deserve a listen, and they're just as strong as the best album tracks. Here's my top 10. Sorry if I missed out on anyone's favorites or have made any errors. So if you haven't joined us before, the music will not be in the video, but it will be at a Vimeo link below. Join along with us because a lot of these songs we're going to be watching the videos. It's going to be a fun one. Thanks again, Ian. Well, you see it below. We're going to start out with Slow Graffiti from the This Is Just a Modern Rock Song fourth EP in 1998. It's written for the soundtrack of the film The Acid House, which is based on the novel of the same name. Everything else that you're going to hear is basically from Ian, but this one, he had messaged me after he put this top 10 together and said, man, I can't believe I didn't get this one in there. And I'm like, let's just make it number 11. So there's actually 11 on here. You get a bonus track. Hey, we aim to please here at RTTC. I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Let's get it. Slow Graffiti. I'm glad that Ian messaged me about this song, that we included it on here, because I really enjoyed that. The arrangement of it, it's just, I don't know, it has such a pleasant sound to it. Stuart sounds really good. I mean, it's the song itself, I don't know, man. There's a portrait in a back room, which I keep for days upon, which I relent and gaze for hours on the muscle, skin, and bone of some imaginary friend. So how about it? Show me, please, how I look in 20 years, and let me, please, interpret history in every line and scar that's painted there in front of me. It doesn't matter what I'm thinking, what I tell myself to do, I'll end up calling. And then it's talking about some other stuff. And then the bridge, listen, Johnny, you're like a mother to the girl you've fallen for, and you're still falling. So, and if they come tonight, you'll roll up tight and take whatever's coming to you next. So I don't know, just, you know, it is definitely delving out a story of this guy's life, but I just think the arrangement of it, it just sounds so good. So a very good choice there for number 11, or a bonus track in the top 10. Next up, we have Belle and Sebastian, the song called Belle and Sebastian. Ian says, from the Dog on Wheels EP released in 1997, in their first, this track tells a pleasant little love story. The book Belle and Sebastian's formative year in the all-night cafe gives you a wonderful insight into how the band was formed. Written by Stuart David, really digs into the earlier recordings and band formation. It's well worth a read to explore this era of the band's formation. All right. Once again, good lyricism here, man, but it's just the sound, right? Just that sound of Belle and Sebastian. Some good bass work there from Stuart David, but all of it, right? Some good guitar work. Just the pleasantry of all of it working together with Stuart's vocals are just, it's just so good, man. And as Ian said, I mean, I didn't think he was lying or anything, but yeah, these tracks are every bit as good as the stuff that I've heard on their albums. Now, we got 9 songs left, and 8 of them are going to be videos, so this is going to be a good time. Our next track is Wrapped Up in Books, from the 2004 Books EP, cracking a good pop song, which reached number 20 on the UK singles chart. Ian said it came with a multimedia CD DVD version, which I could never get to work. So I know exactly what he's talking about. Not on this one, but so, you know, back in the day, we got the CDs, and CDs are coming back into play, but it would be a multimedia, so you'd have to put it into your DVD player and it would play. But oftentimes the coding wouldn't be right, and so you couldn't play it, and it was so frustrating. There was nothing you could do about it. I had a few that way as well, and I always wondered what was on them. All right, Wrapped Up in Books, a clever little video, right? You got to be around books, but even reading the book a little bit. Back when books were a big deal, it's kind of sad books are not what they once were. I know a lot of people read them digitally, but man, you know, books were kind of where it was at, even culture-wise, for a long time. So cool to kind of see that and kind of bring myself back to even the early 2000s when things were a lot different, and this guy was a whole lot younger, and just kind of memories of those sorts of things. So that was really well done. I thought the harmonies were nice, good story to the song, but a nicely done video. It doesn't have to be over the top, right? But you get the idea. The girl's sleeping on the books. It's all It's all about the book, so great choice there. Next up, you see it below, Dog on Wheels, the title track from the previously mentioned Dog on Wheels EP. The video is like a time capsule. The Dog on the Wheels toy, Tigger, was recently sold in an auction for more than 14,000 pounds, Ian says. Wow. All right. Video time, boys and girls. Dog on Wheels, a clever song, right? Talking about a childhood toy. I think he's talking about it was nice to have something he could, talk to without being judged, without betraying him. I think that's kind of what the underlying theme of this is, but you guys that know this better, Ian included, obviously, let me know. But yeah, a cool little video. He just goes around showing people, showing those girls, like, have you seen this dog? So I thought that was a fun video. Very well done song, like the horn section in there. Next up, we have Best Friend. Ian says from the fantastic 2018 EPs, How to Solve Our Human Problems, parts 1, 2, and 3. These EPs surprised me by showing how Belle and Sebastian could produce work as good as they had at any point in the last 20 years. For me, this song evokes my drive to school, rushing not to be late, never a good look to miss registration when you are the teacher. And Ian will do that. He's talking about in a few other ones how the song reminds him of the driving. And that's what I love about music, right? You listen to that song and it just transports you right back to an instant, man. It's fantastic. No video on this one. This is the one that there's not a video on. So the vocals on here, co-wrote and sang by Carla J. Easton from the band Teen Canteen. And I really enjoyed the vocal performance. I thought this song was great. I thought it was great how it plays out the story. They're living together. They're flatmates. They're best friends. But she's trying not to fall for him, but she's having difficulty with that. For right now, you're just my best friend. That's what she says at the end. But it plays out the stories, and some of us have become involved with people we were friends with, and it just grows from there. It's kind of a natural thing that happens. Is you sometimes got to fight in those types of relationships. But I just thought it was just so well done, man. I really, really enjoyed the arrangement of it, the maturity of it. Just great song. Next up, we have There Is an Everlasting Song. Ian says, another song from the same triple EP collection. Ordering which of the 3 EP songs I prefer is near impossible, but today this just beats out Best Friend. We are going to watch the video for all the remaining songs. All right, There's an Everlasting Song. Just a fantastic song. A little Beatlesque there, but a great message to it. Thought the arrangement was fantastic. So easy on the ears. I don't know if I like this one or Best Friend better, so I can kind of see what Ian goes through there, but this video was actually, all the pics were taken by Stuart Murdoch. And it said, this video is a small tribute to the amazing people who posed, modeled, and enrolled to appear in our artwork for the How to Solve Our Human Problems EP releases. So that was pretty cool. And as the great Rod Stewart once said, every picture tells a story. And that's what I liked about that video. I was looking at the different pictures as they were rolling, and you just kind of look into the person's eyes. You get the family. Oh, these people are family. They're in a relationship there. And we live in a world where we have way more pictures than we ever had before because we got phones to take them. But in a world where those pictures, I think, are way less impactful than they ever were because we don't develop them. We don't hang them on our wall. We don't put them in photo albums that we go back and just sit down and look at. They're just on our phone that maybe you post them to social media for a second and create a moment, but then you never think about them again. So being able to sit there and just look at the pics, it kind of nailed that home to me. So really good choice. All right, we're to the top 5. We got We Were Beautiful. Ian says, showing the versatility, the third song to make the list from our Human Problems EPs. This is the best song from the collection, in my opinion, with its fast percussion and soaring chorus, with organ providing a powerful backing. All right, We Were Beautiful. The first half of the song, I'm like, yeah, man, this is not as good as the previous 2 tracks. Now I'm like, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's better. I don't know. I could see how it's difficult to pick among these. Really well done video. I think that the whole idea of the song We Were Beautiful is coming back on your youth, and like before all these things happened in our lives, we were beautiful and it was nice. And he kind of just delves through all of that and they show it in a nice way on the video. I did think the instrumentation was definitely top notch. And another thing striking for me is everybody got old, right? Because I don't know these groups. Usually I don't know these artists. I just know the pictures of them and the stuff I see from whatever time period that I'm reacting to. And then you see them older. I mean, it's a good thing I didn't get older. I mean, in 20 years, geez, man. But yeah, really well done and still going through my head right now. And that's what tells me it was really well done. All right, next up at number 4, we have Jonathan David. Ian says, reaching number 31 in the UK in June of 2001, this keyboard and organ-dominated song has a certain urgency, builds nicely, some well-placed harmonization, makes this one of the better B&S singles. All right, Jonathan David, a lot of cool stuff in here. I read that they made a 60s theme video, a 70s theme video, and they combined it to make this final video. I think an homage to John Lennon when Stevie's behind the white piano, an homage to the Imagine video. That's what I'm taking out of it. I don't know if anybody takes anything else out of it. Jonathan David, biblical characters, best friends going for the crown of Israel. And so that's kind of what's happening here, you know, like one guy likes the girl, but she likes the guy's friend. Always a difficult and awkward situation. Very well done in the video, very well conveyed in the video, and a really good song that a lot of people can identify with. We got 3 songs left. We got Lazy Line, Painter Jane. Ian says this whole song echoes and reverberates. Feels like it was recorded in a church hall using 1950s analog recording equipment. Hopefully this is what Stewart was aiming at. This only made it to 41 in the UK charts. A shame as guest vocalist Monica Queen is really exploited well. This song evokes the Brexit vote, Night for Me. Belle and Sebastian were performing 2 nights at the Royal Albert Hall. Me and my mate Paul went to both evenings, and Monica joined Belle and Sebastian to perform this song. A spectacular night. The band were upbeat, supporting the Remain cause, as most Scots did. And it looked like we would stay in the EU from the initial results, but when we woke up the next day, the results were reversed. Strange how such a vivid memory can hang from a song, but it's fantastic that it can. All right, Lazy Line, Painter Jane, a lot in this song to unpack, but basically just some rebellious stuff and just tells a story. And they do a good job in the video of kind of playing that out with the lines, right? They really do the line thing well, between peeling the paint off the line, stealing the clothesline, painting spray, all the stuff. So I think that's really, really good. I think you've got, you know, the first verse is Stewart, the chorus is Stevie, then of course you got Monica Queen coming in. She is a very nice addition to this as well. And the longer it went on, it's a long song. These last 3 are all long songs, but it's good because the longer it went on, the more I liked it. It let the song grow. The first couple minutes is like, this is all right, but it really did grow. Well done. All right, at number 2, we have Your Cover's Blown. Ian said there's a few versions of the songs, but this Mio Mio mix, I know that's probably not right, is my favorite. And in the video, we have Hannah Murray, later famous from Game of Thrones, a show I've never watched. You believe I've watched almost every great TV show ever. I'm a real TV guy. Never watched Game of Thrones. Okay, Your Cover's Blown. The best video we've seen. So that video was fantastic, right? Because the girl went into the bathroom, and then all of a sudden the bathroom started decorating herself, and everywhere we go. And Stewart's everywhere. He's on the refrigerator. When she goes into the pub, he's on the coasters. He's on the wall. Like, he's everywhere, right? So that was pretty cool as well. So I thought a really well done video. The song itself is fantastic. So many different, almost disco rhythms in there and just different things. I just got lost in the song. It's hard to focus on the song that was so great and the video, which tells you how good it was. But this might be my favorite song on here so far, which I know is probably why Ian has it at number 2. But well done. This guy seems to be, I don't know if I want to say a loser, a guy maybe down on his luck, and he's writing this poem to this girl, and I want to see you alone, cancel operations, tell your friends to cool it, Your Cover's Blown. The way Stewart delivers that is fantastic. Just a great video and a great song. But as great as that song was, it still wasn't number 1. So number 1 on the Belle and Sebastian non-album tracks top 10 for Ian is This Is Just a Modern Rock Song. Ian says, I'm only lucid when I'm writing songs. Has to be one of my favorite ever lyrics. A song full of irony, given the song wasn't very modern, even back in the 90s, and some wonderful lyrics introduce you to the personalities in the band. It was too long to qualify as a single when released, so couldn't chart. For me, it's up there with Get Me Away From Here, I'm Dying. There's Too Much Love and Nobody's Empire for the greatest B&S track. Okay, a 7-minute song. This is just a modern rock song. And once again, I'm a broken record here, but I'm going to say, I usually don't like longer songs. I mean, not that 7 minutes is super long or anything, but I mean, these last 3 tracks were long songs, and the more they went on, the more I liked them. Because at first, like 3 minutes through this, I'm like, I like this, but it's not going to end up on my favorites, and Ian's going to think I'm crazy. But like as it went on, it's so good. The video is more abstract, right? So I could focus on the lyrics a little more, and some good lines on here. You know, it starts out with Emma and her story, and then Laura and her story, and then I'm not as sad as Dostoevsky. I'm not as clever as Mark Twain. I only buy a book for the way it looks, and then I'll stick it on the shelf again. Now, I can tell you what I'm thinking, but it never seems to do you good. It's beyond me what a girl can see. I'm only lucid when I'm writing songs. That line that Ian talked about. This is just, and then Stevie comes, this is just a modern rock song. This is just a sorry lament. We're 4 boys in our corduroys. We're not terrific, but we're competent. I mean, some great lines here. And And Ian's exactly right. I think there's an irony in here that it is not a modern rock song at all in the arrangement and the way it's put together. Before I get to my favorite tracks, honorable mentions for Ian. He said, Desperation Made a Fool of Me, a song that Lou Reed would be proud of. Legal Man, Your Secrets, pretty much half the songs on the Three Human EP, or the Human Problems EPs. So many. So, all right, my faves. And I had to narrow them down because I had 8, and now I think I got 6. But Best Friend, There's an Everlasting Song, We Were Beautiful, those 3 songs off the EP. Jonathan David, Your Cover's Blown, and this is just a modern rock song. I think Your Cover's Blown is my favorite. I don't know, man. These songs were great, man. They were absolutely great. I'm so glad that Ian put this together. Belle and Sebastian definitely going up my list of bands that I super enjoy. And it took a while for me to really get them. But now that I get them and you get something like this, it's just fantastic. So let me know what you thought of these tunes below. What were your favorites? Thanks again, Ian, for putting this together. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, I will see you.